Hey guys, it's Colleen from Pet Nanny Coach, and I have something special for you today. I just did an amazing case study interview with one of my most successful students. Her name is Andrea Fenner of iHeartWalkies.com in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We just had the most lovely conversation about the evolution of her company and where she was when she first started, and we started working together and what she has built over the years. She now has a team of 25 sitters, a full-time manager that manages the company. She has the freedom in her life now to enjoy her life and ride her horses and give her time to her charitable causes. She really is a true success story. And we started from the bottom. We did the Launch and Grow curriculum, and then we did the Multiply Mastermind curriculum, and she really has knocked it out of the park. And what's really cool, I want you to listen as we are speaking, is that she had a lot of the same fears and mindset blocks that so many of us, including myself, had. And she broke through all of them to truly create this amazing business. She's making mid to high six figures now, and she's just crushing it. So I hope you guys enjoy this case study. All right, let's get to Andrea. Hi. All right, well, hello there. One of my all-time favorite students and most successful students, Andrea Fenner. Thank you so much for being here today.
Hi, Kyle. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So
Good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm so happy you're here. And guys, she has some amazing dogs. You're probably going to hear her puppy Chef in the background with his big bone. And then we have Sardine and Lasagna in the other room. So if they bark or make noise, don't worry. But that's those are her babies.
There's loud bone chewing as we speak, but it's keeping him busy, so that's good.
All right, so today we are here to talk about the evolution of your business, iHeart Walkies, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and where you were when we started working together. What strategies we implemented, which was the Launch and Grow curriculum that got you to the next level, and then how we multiplied that and leveraged that and where you are now. So I just kind of want members of my community and my other students to kind of get a bird's eye view of the whole evolution of your business.
Great.
Right, so why don't we start with where you were when we came together to start working on growing iHeart Walkies?
Well, I was a one-man show, and I had clients. I'm in Philadelphia, still am, for my business, and I had clients all over town. They were in Old City, South Philly, Rittenhouse. At the time, Fishtown and Northern Liberties hadn't really started being it wasn't gentrified yet. People weren't really living there that would be using pet sitting services. But I was certainly walking all over town. I was on foot. I didn't have a car. And I was probably walking from, I would say, 8:30 in the morning until easily 5:30 at night. Rain, sleet, or snow. My friend used to joke that I worked hard. I worked in worse weather than the mailman did.
Yeah.
I remember I think I would call out. I had just a knockout flu, and I waited until I was at death's door before I called out. I must have called out once a year. Never could. Didn't go away. Nothing. Always available. And aside from that, I was getting paid in cash, and it just was like a very demanding physical job, and it's all I could do. I had to build things around, fit them in little pockets of time that I could do stuff, and I had to decide if I wanted to leave it that way or grow it, but I couldn't really see how I could grow it because I didn't have time to take any more clients. And that's kind of when I found you.
Right. So you were trading hours for dollars, but there are so many hours in the day that you could possibly trade for dollars that you created your own ceiling, and you couldn't make any more money over that. And tell me about your lifestyle, like what that was like in terms of your social life and how much time you had to live your life, and you were out all hours of the day and night taking care of the pets.
Well, I mean, it's like, I was, and at that age, I was in my 20s. At that age, it's like I couldn't, you couldn't really do anything at night because you had to be up and at 'em in the morning. And I couldn't really socialize because I would never, once in a blue moon, I would have a girlfriend come with me if I had to do an evening walk before we would go out for a cocktail or before going to dinner. But there was really no, you know, I couldn't even make weekend plans because I was scared that a client was going to need me.
Yeah. And then also with the types of clients you had and being the only person that answered to these clients, there was this whole fear around saying no, right?
I think that was like the biggest, for me, like a major cloud. And that's just like a kind of heavy thing to carry around emotionally, like this constant fear of letting someone down, but also not being able in a way to like stand up for yourself and be like, no, like I have this wedding to go to, or I already made plans for dinner. And, it's all revolved around like, and you do get clients that are bullies that will, and you're talking to them directly. There's no in between. There's no one to cover for you unless you made friends with another pet sitter. But then what's stopping them from just keeping going with this client?
Right.
So it was like, because it was so like hand to mouth, because I could only make this exact amount of money per week, per month, that if I lose this, then I'm losing this revenue, all because I want to just go to dinner with one of my friends. And so it turned into this just whole thing where it's like, I didn't have any life because you're scared to commit, or you're always breaking plans, and you're scared that everyone's going to hate you or go somewhere else. And it's like it was a high anxiety point in my life. For sure.
Me personally, I had the same exact experience when it was just me being the one-man show, and it just wasn't sustainable. I mean, I was so close to quitting and leaving this amazing profession because I had no life, I had no energy, and I had a bunch of clients who really didn't treat me well, and I literally almost quit. I remember you were at the same point where you're like, do I really want to be doing this? This is an exhausting lifestyle. It's not just about the revenue you make, it's about the lifestyle that you create for yourself. And so many of my students and members of my community are they're in the grind of it. And we remember, my goodness, because it's
hard. And it's really hard. I mean, in any relationship that you have, whether it's a friendship or a family member or a client, to be at the mercy of them first of all, it makes you distrust your own value, which I think like you can totally sympathize. When we were in that position, just like being at someone's beck and call, they also kind of devalue your time and your job because they just think you're this like disposable person because you're so like, yes, I can do it all the time, no matter what. And then they're like, oh, well, they don't have another gig, and then they want to pay you less. Like this all wraps into one kind of ball that when you let someone take advantage of you, they just, it's like you give them an inch, they take a mile. So, and it's just
right. So when we came together, I said, all right, we're gonna get the foundation set for the company. We're gonna build a professional business where you are not the bottleneck in your business. That's where we started. Can we talk about some of the fears that you had with making this leap from becoming like a one-man show to the professional company?
Yes. Well, as you know, I like things the way I like them.
Yeah.
That's what I like. And I know that's not unique to most people, but along with that comes really, I didn't think anyone was going to be able to have the attention to detail that I had, have the care and compassion for the animals that were in my care, because something about me, which I'm sure, I know about you, and I'm sure as well as all of your students, you're animal lovers to start this business, and you feel an immediate love and attention and attachment to whatever dog or cat is in your care. So
Right.
now it's also like, oh, these people are taking care of my animals. Not to mention, we now know like people, our clients' personalities. They may be cool, they may not be cool, and it's all this stuff. But we had already figured out like the nuances and how to operate. And you know, if this hair is out of place on Spot, we know that this means he needs this medicine. We have to tell his mom that. Like, how am I going to get someone else to know this stuff? And you know, you basically, the thought of hiring someone means like, well, all the pets in my care are going to die within the first week. Like, that's like how drastic and catastrophic the thinking is. Now, on top of having to do that, I'm going to have to invest money in some kind of software, so it's not just like paper and all of this mishmash, misdirected scheduling, and how do I keep track of payroll and all of that stuff. So then it just started, you know, crazy. I mean, I thought creating a website even.
Yeah.
Like, no, brochures are fine. It was, you know, I was definitely a pill because I want to do my way is safe.
Yeah.
And I know what I'm getting from my way.
Right.
And
we had many powwows where, you know, it was like, this was the business model. My business model is what you wanted to follow. You signed up for this. These are things, this is mindset issues that we need to break through. We need to get past. But if you get through it on the other side, you are going to reap the benefits through more money, more ideal clients, and more freedom in your life. So do you feel as though that's where you are now?
Well, come on. I mean, 100%. My life is totally different, you know? And it's, I mean, to say that I reap the benefits from just, you know, following the foundations and the launch stuff, just following any of it is, it's not even giving it its due credit. I mean, my life from being in apartment in Philly to this life that I have now is crazy. It's crazy.
It's amazing. You did it, but you pushed through. Well, let's talk about the framework. All right. So first we laid the foundation through the Launch and Grow framework, which was we started attracting your ideal clients versus these clients that would have us, you do crazy things and ask you to do crazy things, right? That was like the number one thing. Then we set you apart from the competition so that you were the only logical choice in your market. We built a website that converted your prospects into paying customers. We got technology going. Technology was a big one for you, but you know.
It's still, I mean, in just my general life, it still is. I mean, I don't even like getting a new phone.
But what I tell my students is that technology is supposed to make you money, right? So that you
my gosh, you have to utilize it.
Right. So we did all of that, and that built your client list into ideal clients that you were getting on a weekly basis, right? So that you were bringing in consistently and regularly, setting up your marketing plans, that you were doing all of that on a regular and consistent basis. And then from there, we had to leverage you through a team of heart-centered pet care professionals, which, as we know, Andrea did not want to do this because of the detail. You know, nobody was going to do the job that she did. But now, tell us about
well, I mean, also, I do want to mention that having your vetting process and being able to utilize that did provide a lot of relief for me in that time. Because when the thought of hiring a staff was presented to me, I was like, everyone is like a dog abuser, serial killer. Right. I cannot hire anyone. I am the only person that knows how to be in someone's house and take care of their dogs. And then when you taught me the vetting process and the value in that, and even, you know, aside from the peace of mind that gives like new clients, it gives me a peace of mind. Right. So that was just like awesome.
Yeah. So getting the hiring system set up. So you multiply your company through team building, systems and processes, and automation, right? So you were saying before, like, how am I going to let my team members know what they need to do, like what you automatically know in your head? And we did that through creating standard operating procedures that was easy for you to delegate, and then putting the hiring systems in place so that you were attracting high-level talent you were vetting the high level talent, you know, the people that were coming through the pipeline, and then creating this whole onboarding system. So by the time that they were ready to go out into the field and take care of your most precious clients' pets, your most favorite clients' pets, they were ready to go, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you had all of this in place. Then came the manager. That was the next step. Remember, then you were the full-time manager and you were like, you fought me tooth and nail on this as well. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, as you know, I know more all the time. So, yes, of course, I fought you tooth and nail on that. Um, Numerically, you look at it and you say, okay, I know how to do this job. Why am I paying someone else to do it? Because you just look at the money going out and you're like, I can do this too. You know, you just look at it numerically.
As an
But
expense
then
versus an
it's
investment.
like, what's that?
You look at it as an expense versus an investment in the company.
Yeah, totally. Totally. And I mean, this really, yeah, this got me in my craw for, yeah. Cause I was like, why? Why? You know,
Yeah.
this is what I do. This is what I want to do, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, if I'm honest, for me, you know, in retrospect, the job of being the operations manager had run its gamut for me with fulfillment, with having the ability to grow the business, because it did get so busy that, you know, I'm bringing in new clients, I'm processing new clients, I'm hiring sitters, I'm interviewing sitters weekly, and sometimes more than once a week. And it did turn into a time suck. And even just like in your brain, like mentally, you're like, well, I already worked on the business, because I did grow it to a certain place where I had allowed myself like to enjoy where I'd grown it to, where
Right.
I was like, I don't need to work around the clock any longer because now I have this staff. But now I have you barking at me. We have to do marketing. You got to do all your marketing. And I'm like, I'm already doing this stuff. So then I had to like wrap my brain up around that. Like, I definitely looked at it like I was giving up some of my business. And that was a tough thing. But I don't even know. At this point, it's like I get to enjoy my business in a different way now that my manager's name, as you know, is Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
And Sarah's been with me for quite a while, and she's got it. And she is better than me in so many ways, because
Right.
she's not afraid to stand up for the business. She's not afraid to go by the book. And even though sometimes I'm like, oh, come on. She's like, no, if we do this, then everyone's going to do it. And then they're all going to take advantage of us. So I look at Sarah. Sarah's like, your like tall friend that like is behind you, always having your back.
Right.
You
That's
know,
exactly
like
right. I love that analogy.
that's, sorry. We're playing with the
Oh,
phone over
chef.
here.
Oh, chef.
Chefy, come, pass.
So I like to say it's almost like a gatekeeper with my manager, Sue. It's like a good cop, bad cop thing. So when I was the one managing the business, again, I had a really hard time saying no to anything because I wanted to please my customers. All right. So what I like to call it with my manager is the good cop, bad cop relationship. Because when I was the one managing the business, I was so willing to please all my customers the same way I was when I was doing the pet sitting. I had a hard time saying no. But when you have a manager like that has your back and that is just pretty much just following the policies and procedures and your company protocol, they can easily say no to requests that are completely inappropriate or, you know, not in our job description. Or they can say no to non-ideal clients that come down the pike. They just are.
Oh, that's a huge one.
And they also help protect you in terms of not having to get on the phone with the customers. I mean, I rarely talk to a customer anymore. Sue is the person that's on the phone with them and doing the day to day. So again, it creates more freedom, which then gives you the time to implement your marketing plan, which then gives you the ability to continue to grow the business year after year. So it's part of the recipe. I know it's a scary part, but another roadblock that you got through. So tell me a little bit about your team in terms of sitters. So how many sitters are on the squad now?
We have about 25. We have a little bit more around the holidays.
Yeah.
Because we need the additional help. But generally speaking, we have 20 to 25. It just depends on what's doing that year, what's doing, with various neighborhoods. It's a slightly different ball game in a city like we're in, because it's very, for some reason, we'll have like everyone has a baby and moves to the suburbs. It just all happens at once. And then within 6 months, everyone moves into the city and gets puppies. So it's certainly, then we're like, oh my God, but we're constantly interviewing, constantly hiring, and we are never at, because of that system, we're never at a shortage, which is good. A holiday help is certainly important because we get such an influx, but is this?
Okay. And let's talk about your lifestyle in general. Now that you've created this unbelievably, wildly successful pet sitting business, you have a team of 25 sitters, you have this amazing manager, Sarah. And what are you able to enjoy in your life that you were not able to enjoy before when you were the one out,
I mean, so much. Like, well, for starters, my husband has like an interesting, cool job where he, might come home on a Monday and say, hey, want to go to California on Wednesday with me? I have a meeting for a couple of days. Okay. Yeah. I can just worry about having someone stay with my dogs and off we go. I've gotten multiple teacher trainings for yoga. I have gone to more College of Art for interior design. I have a integrated nutrition degree that I've done. I'm going to go back to drawing classes. I ride horses.
Yes.
And I get to hang with my friends, cook, and still enjoy, I do like having a hand in the business where Sarah and I talk a few times a week. Mm-hmm. We together collaborate on marketing ideas. I talk to a lot of the marketing people as far as like the online advertising goes and all of that stuff. And I come up with various, marketing ideas throughout the year and create the calendar. But Sarah delegated a lot of stuff over time, because once you have the marketing calendar, there it is. I happen to enjoy writing, so I do like to write a blog. I like to write a newsletter because I like to keep in contact, and I do care about all of these animals, and I do want to feel like people know I care. So I certainly keep a hand in it, but certainly how it's been, the focus will be on how can we grow, how can we keep growing. And I want to grow at a rate that keeps Sarah taken care of and enjoying the position, but also where I can also find other fulfillment in life. Like, I always thought in my brain, like, well, I didn't know I was like going to start as a dog walker and then have this business. And I don't know, I have an art degree. So that was my education before I started the pet sitting service. So this was like a shock that I started this business and got it to the place that it's at. And, lo and behold, my business had allowed me to unlock all these like other things that I love. And especially, my being able to be around the horses as much as I want, basically during the week, and, doing this other stuff. It's quite a different life for me.
Yeah, it's been amazing to watch, to see the whole evolution of everything, and that you are doing all the things that you love to do, and that they have come through your business. Mm-hmm. Back then, who knew? Who knew what was going to happen? You brought up a good point that I want to talk about, and that is a myth that goes on within my community that a lot of my students and members of my community hear me talk about a lot, and that is the myth that if you are a true animal lover, that you can't or shouldn't grow a successful business. And, this, Andrea debunks that myth like 100-fold, because I've never in my life met a more passionate animal lover than you, truthfully. So can you speak to that a little bit?
Well, I mean, first of all, I think it's important to remember that earning, and I actually listened to a lecture about like the karmic flow of money, where
Yeah.
helping people and doing things for people it is still just to earn a living from that. And it goes back to, just the age old sort of, it's not a cliche, but saying where if you're not taking care of yourself first, how can you take care of other people? So allowing ourselves to make money from helping people and doing, it's just a bonus that we love to do it. And that's a different saying, do what you love and you never work a day in your life.
Right.
We get to be around animals, but we also get to help people. So we're just taking money to take care of ourselves so we can continue taking care of others.
Right.
It's really like, if we're not at a circus making money from exploiting, these other dogs and cats and, that's not what's happening.
Yeah.
This is what makes the world go around. There's just, it's completely, and I understand like the thought, because the most, and I'm sure, you've talked about this as you and I have talked about this, but this thought more so, this thought more so comes back. Oh, sorry.
That's all right. I love it.
You heard us talking. Okay. But it's more so, I think that thought stems from the uncomfortability level of taking money. Right. And accepting money from people for something you like. It's just the exchange of money from people. And once you get over the hump with that,
which is an exchange of energy. And
sure.
That's all it is. And you've got all the jobs that you are creating for people who love taking care of animals, and the fulfillment that you're giving them in their lives, being able to create those jobs for those people. So I think it's important to, just a quick note, like for people that are feeling that way, whether you're a one-man show or you have a staff or whatever your goals are, you have to put this in perspective, the liability that we are carrying. Like it's sort of like how teachers get underpaid, and I'm not complaining about what I make for a living or what any of the sitters get paid. However, we are going into people's houses with keys, with their babies, with their homes, with everything in life they cherish. I think that when you put it into perspective like that, it's okay to take the money that we're taking, because we're providing, like, would you consider not paying your ADT bill? No. They're protecting your house. Right. And your animals and your kids and whatever else goes on in your home. Yep. Like, think of it that way. Yep. Very good. Well said. All right. And another myth I want to debunk today is there's too many pet sitters out there. Everyone's doing it. You can't be successful anymore. That ship has sailed. Andrea lives in one of the most crowded marketplaces in the city of Philly, where the competition, dog walkers and pet sitters are everywhere. However, you continue to bring in new ideal clients each and every week. Yep. Because? Well, as one of my very, very best friends' moms always say, there is a lid for every pot. Right. And you have to have the mentality of there's enough for everybody, just universally. There is enough for everyone. Yes. I love that. We're everyone's, like, walkies and cat peeps. We're someone's flavor. And it has to do with who we're marketing to, who our, Purple Cow client is. And, that's why we come up with a profile for who our client is and such like that. Awesome. Right. So as long as you are setting yourself apart from the competition, you have your marketing plan, you have this foundation created, you can absolutely attract ideal clients to your business. And I love that you said that there is enough for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Competition in the pet sitting industry, the competition mindset with some is not healthy. And I come from a mindset that there are enough animals to go around and
Oh my, every day. You know, a friend of mine pointed this out and it really reiterated it to me just as for my business and even for what, you know, maybe I'll be doing with the nutrition business and such. And she's got like, she makes videos on how to create floral decorations and wreaths and all of that stuff. And our soft plug, Sullivan Owen Designs.
okay.
But she said, you know, if you look on YouTube, and she said, tell me what you could speak to. I said, okay, rheumatoid arthritis and how to have a healthy life through food with rheumatoid arthritis. She said, if you Google that right now, the millions of people that will come up with millions of views on their YouTube videos would astonish you.
Right.
She really, you know, and so that to me, I was like, oh, really? Because, you know, you get an idea and what discourages people is, well, someone else had that idea.
Right.
But they haven't heard your version of it.
Right.
And it's just a version, having your own version. And that comes into play a lot with your program. Be authentic and be you, because that's what people want.
Right. That's what people are going to be attracted to.
Right.
All right. So we went through the Launch and Grow framework and program, and then we implemented the Multiply Mastermind framework and program. And you created this amazingly, wildly successful business. What do you think are your biggest lessons that you've learned in this whole process? I know we probably covered some of them in our conversation here, but the big one.
Okay, right off the top, I mean, this is a one lesson to people. You know, I already mentioned it before, like I need to know everything. So things would take double long as I learn them from you. But speaking even more to that, something else is, you know, never look at people like they work for you. Look at people as part of a machine that runs.
Yeah.
And speaking to that, conversations, I remember initially talking with Sarah, and she'd have ideas and I would be kind of like, yeah, okay, I know more than you, until Sarah started knowing her position better than I did. And like kind of having like a mentality of, you can always continuously learn, and there are other people that have ideas that will improve your business, not just you, was like a really good lesson. And, you know, it was sort of just like, I don't remember the nature of it. I don't remember the topic, but it was like a zinger when Sarah was like, well, you know, but this is why isn't this a better route? And it wasn't in like a jerk way, but just like and I was like, oh, you're smart, you know,
yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Yeah, I think like that's a big one. Other lessons, I mean, just like in life, if you don't take a risk, you don't know if you're going to succeed. And I think if, you know, the worst thing is to not try something, because there you go again, you just never try, so you never know. You could fail, but you could also succeed, which is, you know.
Right. That's the goal, right? And you absolutely have done an amazing job. You're an amazing person, and you've built an amazing
Well, thank you.
And I just enjoy working with you so much, and watching you grow year after year after year and getting your updates. It just like warms my heart. And
oh, thank you. And
I love your pets. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. It was fun. We had a fun ride for sure.
Yes.
All right.
100%.
Well, thank you so much for being here. And I will talk to you soon. Okay.
Looking forward to it. Happy holidays.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the case study with this amazing pet sitter, Andrea, who has truly created the pet sitting business of her dreams. Now, if you are brand new to the pet sitting industry, or you already have a business that's making less than $3,000 a month, I am going to invite you to check out my Launch and Grow Your Dream Pet Sitting business. click the link below this video where it'll map out exactly what is included in the program and how we are going to get you to consistent $3,000 months. Now, if you are already at the $3,000 a month mark and you are looking to scale and multiply your pet sitting business to multiple six figures, I'm going to invite you to schedule a strategy session with me. We're going to get really clear on where your business is, where you want to go, and the missing pieces that you need to implement for you to be able to create those results. Then at the end of our call, if you decide that you would like to work together to make all of this happen, wonderful. And if not, that's totally fine too. You are still going to walk away with clarity and a 3-step action plan that you can put into action in your business. So if you're a multiplier making over 3K, click that button below. All right, guys, thanks so much for being here. If you ever need anything, don't hesitate to reach out. I'll catch you next time. Bye.